everyone, today I'll be reviewing this new movie dropped on Netflix called Stuck Together, and it is French movie and starring Danny Boone, Laurence Arney, and this movie is directed by Danny Boone. So this movie is kind of like a comedy drama type, and it is about the pandemic. But this movie takes place during the first pandemic, and it is about 7 families. They're stuck together in a apartment building during the first wave of pandemic in Paris, and you get to see all these people, their life, and how they react to this pandemic when they hit. Especially they have a curfew, they cannot go out and walk even their dog, like they need a special paper to go out. I thought this movie was quite fun watch for me. I really liked how this movie was light-hearted. It's not very serious about pandemic movie or anything, although it did finish with such a sad note. But still, I thought this movie was funny, but also had some heart, and also it was very interesting to see how some of these people react during this time, which we can all relate without being too serious about it. Like one guy, he's the building owner, he doesn't believe in the pandemic at all, he thinks it's just made up. And then in one scene, he actually said, his son says, "What is pandemic, Dad?" And he said, "Oh, it's just for a disease for killing all the old people." Some of these joke people might find little offensive, I guess, but I found them really funny, the way he was saying it. And there is another family that the dad, he's like overly cautious about this pandemic. He's spraying this sanitizer all the time, wearing mask. He's wearing this silly mask, and it has a wiper. He's going out. One time he almost got arrested with the police, and sometimes the way he acts with his wife is little bit too much. I was like, oh my god, he's doing it he's too cautious, I guess, which is also makes sense, I guess, for some people, because there is some people react to this situation we are in. And there is also another family, it's not a family, I guess there is a couple, another couple, the wife is pregnant and the husband is a blogger, and their story was quite interesting as well. The wife is trying to sing, she was one time on the Boys, that show, and everybody's when they first meet her, they're like, "Oh, you're the one who's singing every morning, we are hearing your voice." And she's like, "Yeah, I was on Boys season something." Then people are like, "Oh, thanks for singing us," because sometimes it's annoying to hear people singing, I guess. For them it makes sense, I guess. And also there is one guy, he's his name is Pablo, but his wife is at the hospital. She's actually got the infection, she's getting treated, so it was really sad how Pablo's story ended in this movie. I was like, oh, it's so sad. But how this movie wrapped up his story is also very heart touching. Also a scientist guy, he's trying to invent a vaccine in this movie, I guess. He's also kind of like a doctor, he was doing some testing for them. And how this guy, he tells us stuff about it. Some of this stuff was funny, of course, as I was saying. This movie is, some of this stuff is made up stuff. It's not all real, of course. You have to be come with that, come deal with that, because all of these things you see in this movie, they're not real. Some of them are made up, so don't be so serious about it. But I thought this movie was definitely very fun watch. And however, only thing I will say I didn't like about this movie was I felt like some part for this movie was too dragged. I wish this movie was a little bit shorter. I felt like it was a little long for my taste. It was 2 hours something. How was the direction? The direction for this movie, because the actor, he was a director. He written this movie, also he directed, act, and also he's starring. Sometimes I could see he took over all the scene in this movie, because Danny Boone, his name, he's the director. And I was like, after finish watching this movie, and I came online and saw he was the director. I was like, oh, that makes sense why he was in all the scene. Some of his scene was little dragged, wasn't it? So I would say, I think he did it on purpose, he was trying to make a comedy about himself or something. I don't know if he's a big star in French or no. But I did feel like he did like put himself in a lot of scene, and some of his scene did felt so much dragged. Overall, I still thought I had really good time watching. It's not like mind blowing or anything, not, but still it was a good watch. Honestly, how this movie left me with, how this movie ended left me with a little heartwarming feeling, you know. Anyway, that's my thought on this movie. Let me know in the comment what do you think about this movie, and if you enjoyed my video, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to leave your comment, and please take care.